Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to a new episode of Ask Huda. I am your host, Fuad Muhammad. Well, today we're privileged to be joined by Dr. Walid Bassiouni, all the way from the United States of America. He's the Vice President of Al-Maghrib Institute, and he's also a member of the Assembly of Muslim Jurists of the United States of America. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor, and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and thank you for having me again.
Okay,
it's my pleasure.
Okay, just a quick reminder of our telephone numbers, 00-202-38555, 248 or 249, or you can write to us at ask, that's ask, at huda.tv. Just before we take our first question, we have Abdul Rauf from India on the line. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda. Your questions, please.
My question is regarding the Salatul Isha. I have just come from, I basically normally call from Riyadh. But now these days I am in Kashmir, and when I was praying today's Isha prayer, I have seen the chart showing the starting of Isha at 9:35.
Okay.
But the mosque, but the people there in the mosque started praying Isha prayer at 9:05. I told them very clearly.
9:25. When did they start praying in the mosque?
35 was the chart showing them different timing for the all prayers. It was showing 9:35, but the Adhan was called at 9:05.
Okay.
I told them very clearly, you cannot pray 1 minute before the specified time.
Okay.
I just wanted to know, is that prayer valid or not?
Okay, we're gonna answer it, inshallah. That's the Brother Abdul Rauf from India. Let's take his question right away. His problem is that in the Jama'ah, I think they prayed 1 minute before the time that is on the table, because most of the masajids, they go with the timetable for Salah. So he said Salatul Isha was 9:35, and they prayed a minute before that. He wants to know if the prayer is valid.
Is it a minute or more? Is it a minute?
He said a minute. A minute.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. All praise due to Allah, and His praise and blessings and peace be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Salatul Isha's prayer, the Isha prayer time start when the night entered.
Okay.
It's actually these calendars that people refer to it 9:25 or 9:35. That's not how we judge if the Isha prayer time entered or not. This time just to help us to identify if the time started or not. But how we would determine that when we see for Isha prayer that it became basically the horizon became black and that reddish or in the sky disappeared. So, which is signaling that the time of Maghrib prayer ended as well. These calendars are various. You might see sometimes even 10 minutes different between one calendar and another. So, if it's 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes, inshallah, I would say that the Imam and the Mu'adhin, they should always call the adhan on time according to the calendar that they will agree upon. If it's al-Qura's calendar, for instance, that lets them stick to it, and they practice their prayers, or they start their prayer according to this calendar that they have adopted. In this case in particular, a minute before or a minute after, inshallah, your prayer is valid and you don't need to repeat it. But I think you're right, people should stick to the time and take this issue seriously.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Doctor. We have Sister Safiya from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum, sister. You're live on Ask Huda.
Alaikum salam. I have 3 questions.
Okay, go ahead.
My first question is, if you are engaged to someone and you don't end up getting married to that person, is it okay for you to call that person, maybe to congratulate the person on childbirth or during Eid?
Okay.
My second question is, how do you address a scholar who is a professor in Islamic studies who tells his students during a lecture that it's okay to work in a bank, not an Islamic bank?
Okay.
My third question is it okay to take pictures during wedding, maybe your wedding? Is it okay to take pictures if you're not going to hang them on the wall? Just keep them in an album.
Okay. Jazakallah khair, Sister Safiya there from Nigeria. Barakallah fiki. She wants to know, the first question is, if she's engaged to someone, and then the engagement is finished, but in the future, can that person either party can call each other congratulating them on Eid, or they have a new baby? Can they do this?
If this person somehow related to her, or maybe a friend of her family, and she will do that in a very open form. It's not something a secret. I mean, in presence of her family, in front of his wife, sending like congratulations to him and his wife for the new child that they have. That's up to the culture that they're living in. As long as there is nothing haram was said, alhamdulillah, it is permissible. But this can be different from one culture to another. Some cultures, they will not accept such thing. You know, they will consider this weird or not accept, or could give another meaning. So it depends about your culture, as long as there's nothing haram in it. And that's not also going to open the door for you maybe to start a communication with him, bringing all these emotions that you had before towards him when you were engaged to each other. If there is anything like that, I would say close the door and make dua for that person in his absence. Send your gift through your family members, or contact his wife and his family directly. As for the second questions, I think was about
how do you address the scholar?
The scholar
that says it's okay to work in a bank that is not Islamic.
A bank which is not Islamic. I don't know what exactly you mean by how to address the scholar, but definitely every student of knowledge, every person has the right to ask the mufti, to ask the sheikh, if he or she doesn't feel comfortable with this question, to ask more clarification, why it is allowed, what about this, in a very respectful manner, to learn from that person. And if you don't feel that this answer is satisfying you, or this mufti may be basing his answer on something you don't, a principle that you don't agree with it completely, in this case, you show your respect, you say, Jazakallah khair, thank you very much, and you ask someone else that you feel comfortable to ask, and you know that they are maybe someone who you see as a trustworthy of giving you the answer.
Okay, she wants to know if it's allowed to take photographs on occasions such as wedding, for not the purpose for hanging it on the wall, but just for the purpose of keeping it in as memories. Yani.
Let me go straight to what most people use today, which is called digital photos, with digital cameras, cell phones, and things like that. I don't think we talk about drawing here, or the old-fashioned when they fix the picture. No, the digital cameras. There is a different opinion between the modern senior scholars among Muslims today about the ruling in regard to take pictures with such machines, the digital cameras. I personally go with the opinion which says it's permissible, because humans are not involved in making these pictures. It basically is a reflection of your image on the camera, and the only thing, I'm freezing that image. It's like the reflection of your image on the mirror or in the water. The only difference that I'm saving that reflection of your image in the mirror, in the lenses basically in this case, and you put it in a digital format. As long as you don't hang it on the walls, I hope inshallah there is nothing, it's not forbidden. It's not forbidden.
Okay, Sister Aisha from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, she wants to know if it's compulsory for men to pray the 5 daily prayers in the mosque.
That's interesting for a sister to ask about men. If it's obligatory upon men to pray the 5 daily prayer in the masjid. Praying in congregation, the vast majority of the Muslim scholar said it is obligatory on the Muslim male to perform it in the masjid, as long as he lives close by the masjid. He or she can hear the adhan. If the adhan was called without microphones, basically, and he live in a distance that he can walk safely to the masjid, that will be obligatory on that particular person to go to the masjid and to pray on the masjid. Some even went an extreme a little bit. They said that their salat will not be valid. If they pray at home. And this opinion is not a very strong opinion. They base this opinion on the Prophet ﷺ's statement, whoever heard the adhan and did not respond, his salah, there is no salah for such person unless he has an excuse. There is no salah, this negation, there is no salah. Those took it literally, like Ibn Hazm and one narration from Al-Hanabila, Imam Ahmad, that it is no salat valid. But that's not how the vast majority of the scholars took it. No salat complete. The reward of it will not be complete. And because of that, I would say that men should always try to perform the salat on the masajid. This is, as Ibn Mas'ud said, from Sunan al-Huda, from the path of the guided people. This is the path of the guided people. You want to be in that road, in the company of those individuals, pray at masjids and make sure that you go and pray in the masjid. So yes, I believe it is obligatory on the men to pray in the masajid.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Doctor. We have Brother Sadiq from Cyprus. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda.
Alaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum, both of you.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
May I have two questions, please?
Okay, go ahead.
My father died 2 years before. I am living in Cyprus, but my home city is Bangladesh.
Okay.
So my father, as I know, he prayed, he was good man. He involved with one masjid, take care of it. But 2 months ago, one of my brother, he saw a dream, my father, and my father was asking him to pay money to that mosque because that mosque is rebuilding. So today, again, one of my sisters saw the same dream, and my father asking money, and father was asking about me, where is he, why he don't give money. I used to know about Islam. I intend to pay some money to the masjid for rebuilding, but I used to know, please, about the Islam or Hadith. Is it my father, the Mayyat, show directly? I don't know, please clear it.
Okay.
My second question is, look, I am practicing Hanafi from children, as you know, my culture. But different sheikh, maybe that sheikh is another madhab, that sheikh another madhab, they say this is hadith, that they other say this is, you cannot pray like this. But, we are getting in doubt or don't know what to do, please.
Okay.
Because every time we listening new and something is bothering me, please.
Okay, I got it.
Something to, please.
Okay, I got the question, Brother Sadiq there from Cyprus. Jazakallah khair. Sister Aisha's second question, she wants to know what is the ruling on a person who prays and fasts but yet indulges themselves in listening to music and watching movies?
For such person, my advice would be continue doing the fasting, the prayer, the good deeds, and show sincerity in doing such a great act of worship. And I'm sure that this will occupy your time. As for being attached to listening to music or wasting your time in watching movies and things like this, I would say that this person needs to think always about the time and the value of the time. How I'm going to be using my time in the best way. I'm not saying that a person should not entertain himself or having a free time to do things, not say to be a prayer or having fun. Or socializing with someone. But make sure that if you do such things, it will not be involving things which is considered haram, like listening to, amusing or watching scenes and movies which is not allowed to be seen by male or by female. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you to continue doing what good and to be inshallah better in the future.
Okay, we have Brother Muhammad from Qatar. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda. Your questions, please.
Wa alaikum salam. I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, a lady made an intention to perform the Hajj in the next year. So is it allowed to perform her pregnancy for 1 year?
Say that again, please, Brother Muhammad.
Yeah, so a lady made an intention to perform the Hajj in the next year.
Okay.
So is it allowed for her to perform her pregnancy for that particular year? Maybe she's planned for the next year. So is it allowed to postpone her pregnancy for that particular year?
Okay. Okay, Jazakallah khair. Brother Muhammad from Qatar. He says, if someone has the intention to perform Hajj, like for example for the next year, can that person postpone that intention and delay it to the other year?
If there is a reason for that, it is permissible to change your intention. But since you intend to do it, if you intend, just have tawakkul, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, when you have intention for doing something, tawakkal ala Allah and put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fulfill your intention. And that will be my advice to you. Because I'm afraid next year you're going to say, okay, next year and then the year after. If you have your intention for next year, make everything possible, inshallah, for you to do it. And if there is a serious reason prevent you from doing it, yes, you're allowed to do it for the year after without any penalties.
Okay, we have Sister Mariam from the United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum, Sister, your life and Ask Huda.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam.
I have 3 questions.
Okay.
My first question is, one of my relatives want to go for Hajj. So he's asking whether he can go for Hajj, that he's having taken car loan from the bank.
Okay.
Okay. Second question is, a woman praying with her 9-year-old son, who should be the imam?
Okay.
A third one about medicine containing alcohol. Can we take it or not?
Okay. Jazakallah khair. Sister Mariam there from the UAE. Sister Aisha from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. She wants to know if someone can give sadaqah, but with the intention of giving it on behalf of themselves and others.
If somebody donate, for example, let's say $100 or reals or a pound, so can he include multiple people in this sadaqah? Yes, you can include more than one person in your sadaqah, inshallah ta'ala.
Okay, and our second question is, I don't know if you're so aware of the Indian tradition, but it's a lot from the East. They have the habit of saying the intention when performing the prayer. Sister Aisha is saying that can the woman say the dua or intention before performing ghusl after the monthly period?
It's not only in the Pakistani culture or the subcontinent area. It's all over the place.
Because I'm from that culture years ago, so I am much aware of it.
People intend to pronounce their intention. Intention, my brothers and sisters, it's in the heart. The intention, it's the act of the heart. It's the act of the heart. It's not the act of the tongue. So that's why you don't pronounce your intention. You said, I intend to pray, I intend to... No, just when you go to pray, your intention is to go to pray. So that's the intention just right there. It's never been recorded that the Prophet ﷺ or any one of his companions or any one of the early Muslim generations for years and hundreds of years ever practiced such things. So you don't need to say it, alhamdulillah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what is in your heart.
Okay, Brother Sadiq from Cyprus, he says his father died 2 years ago, and before he died he built a masjid in Bangladesh. He says that his brother dreamt his father saying, tell Sadiq, which is the person living in Cyprus, and the sister had the same dream, tell him to spend money on the masjid. He wants to know if there is anything such as the dead person inspiring someone to in living in the world today, and what is the value of dreams for a Muslim?
The dreams are basically 3 kinds. Some dreams are from the shaitan, where basically when you sleep, we know that as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, the souls depart from the body and return back to the body when you wake up. When your soul leave your body, sometimes the shaitan will give or expose certain images to that soul. So you will see in your sleep certain images, nightmares, things like this. It will scare you. Sometimes angels will basically shows the soul certain images, and this is what we call ru'ya from Ar-Rahman. and it can be carrying a glad tiding for you, encouraging you to do something good, reminding you of something you were not aware of. And the third type of dreams, which is something that you were thinking about it before you go to sleep, basically you start dreaming about it while you're sleeping. It has nothing to do with either one of the two categories that I mentioned earlier. So based on what you're saying, I would say make sure that you spend money on that masjid. I encourage you to take care of it, not because of your dream, because this is the Islamic, the proper Islamic etiquette, that you take care of your father, basically masjids, and he put effort and money in it, and you should look after it and support it. You should be motivated to do that, not by the dream, but by what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised the men who will raise the masajid and take care of it. Those praised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those who build the masjid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prepare for them a house in paradise. So I encourage you to take care of that masjid.
Okay, we have Sister Muhammad from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum, sister. You're live on Ask Huda. Okay, I just think we just lost Sister Muhammad, but you can always call us back on the program. Brother Abdullah from Nigeria, he wants to know that there's a certain group in Nigeria. They gather the men and women on a certain day. He's mentioned Sunday. And what they do lectures and then they pray together. He wants to know if activities such as this, which is done on every Sunday of the month, if this is acceptable in Islam.
Yes, if they gather every Sunday to have lectures and they have events and basically they will encourage each other to pray, that's fine. If they pray witr prayer, the night prayer in congregation, every time that they gather, this is a different story. But the lecture, the reminders, it is fine. But as for calling people to pray in congregations, the witr, and other than Ramadan, I never heard that this ever was done in such format other than the time of Ramadan, during the time of the Prophet ﷺ or after the Prophet ﷺ's time. So that's why some scholars said to call people and to organize a such night prayer in this way in a regular basis. I'm afraid this will be something like an innovation in religion. But if it's happened occasionally, sometimes when we gather Sunday, we have, mashallah, this brother, he is very good recitation. Whoever want to join the prayer, let's pray. It happened like this. Like the Prophet ﷺ once was praying in the night, other than Ramadan, and Ibn Abbas joined the prayer. Ibn Mas'ud joined the night prayer. It has happened occasionally, unintentionally. If it's something like this, it is permissible.
Okay, we have Sister Abdullah from the UAE. Assalamu alaikum, sister. You're live on Ask Huda.
I just want to know that I heard from a sheikh that every raindrop is carried by two angels. Is it true?
And the dates?
Question, every raindrop.
Raindrop, okay.
And when we enter the house, we make the dua and also we give the salam when the house is empty. Is it to the dua for the angels, or should we make salam when we enter the empty house or not?
Okay. Okay, Jazakallah khair, Sister Abdullah there from the UAE. Brother Sadiq's second question, he says he follows the Hanafi school of thought, but he said when he listens to the other opinions of the other scholars, he becomes very confused. Some says that this is right, some says that this is wrong, some says you have to do this, do that. He becomes very confused, and it's very difficult that he's not sure of what he's doing. How can someone overcome these fears?
I have a very simple recipe for you to follow, which came in the Quran. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, ask the people of knowledge when you don't know. So basically anything that you want to do in your religion, or you're confused about it, just ask a scholar. He doesn't need to be Hanafi, even if you come from a Hanafi background or a Shafi'i background. Just a scholar that you trust his deen. You think that he's trustworthy scholars. You just ask him, and whatever answer he gave you, you follow. Don't confuse yourself. Don't listen to too many opinions. Unless you have doubt about the authenticity of this fatwa or this answer you got, you can ask somebody else, and that's about it. and you move on in your life, but don't confuse yourself with these difference of opinions.
Okay, we have Brother Muhammad from Sierra Leone. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Brother Muhammad, can you please turn on the volume of your television set before asking that question? Okay, I think we lost Brother Muhammad, but we have another Muhammad from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda. Brother Muhammad, are you with us?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, brother.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Go ahead with your question, please.
Okay. My question, we're a Muslim, you know, in Islam we have five pillars of Islam.
Yes.
We have testification, and then we have prayers.
Yes.
Then we have siyam, and then we have zakat, and then Hajj.
Yes.
I want to know, is it compulsory for a Muslim to follow this pillar one by one as it comes, or you can take it anyhow?
Okay, interesting question, Brother Muhammad. Okay, Jazakallah khair. That's Brother Muhammad there from Nigeria. Okay, Sister Mariam from the UAE, she says that a relative wants to go to Hajj, but he doesn't have the money. Can he take a loan to go to Hajj?
No, you don't need to take a loan to go to Hajj. You're supposed to avoid taking loan as much as you can. And if you don't have enough money to go to Hajj, alhamdulillah, Hajj is not obligatory on you. Let's assume somebody took a loan and went to Hajj. His Hajj is acceptable? Yes, it is.
Okay, and her second question, she says a woman and her 9-year-old son, they're praying together. Who should be the imam?
Either one of you can lead the prayer. That's not a problem. You can let your son, if you want to train him to lead the prayer, or you can lead the prayer, because it's been reported in Sunnah Abi and others that a woman led the prayer, led her family members in the house, and she led the prayer. So you can lead the prayer, you can let your son lead the prayer. It doesn't matter, inshallah.
Okay, we have Brother Omar from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I asked the question some time back, but it is not the answer. The question goes like this. I read a hadith that said the Prophet answered the call of nature facing the mosque in Jerusalem.
Okay.
That backing the Kaaba, but he had like a shield in front of him. He had like a barrier in front of him.
Okay.
Also, there's another one that says you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to back the Kaaba, or you're not supposed to back or face the Kaaba. I need clarification on that.
Okay.
My second question is, what's the stance of a person that prays like a Jumu'ah prayer, like within the confines of the mosque, but prays alone, standing alone, without anybody, that's not joining the sahu?
Say it back again for the Jummah prayer?
Yeah, someone praying a Jummah prayer in the vicinity of the mosque, but praying singly, alone, not joining the run.
Okay.
Why did he do? Why he did that? There is no space.
I don't know. I just noticed, but I'm just asking.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. That's Brother Omar there from Nigeria. We'll take a short break here on Ask Huda, and we'll be back right after this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.